we're still beginners to this. This is our first Google Hangout debate, but expect many more to come. And today we're going to be actually debating about the video that got released about Tulisa, and we're not talking about the one of her. We're not talking about the one of her giving head or getting slapped in the face, like Letitia just said.
Nothing
With that little item that Tisa got.
Nothing to do with this.
We're actually talking about her being exposed by the Sun as she was aiding a drug transaction between Mike GLC and an undercover reporter. Now, I'm sure you've seen the video. We've all seen the video. It's been doing the rounds everywhere. First of all, let's get it popping with what was our first reaction when we saw that video?
Shakes my head.
What do you mean shake your head? About what?
What do you mean?
Cocaine the head of drugs. What's that?
The whole situation, disgusting.
What's disgusting about it? I just want to know what I don't understand. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
All right. If you guys actually watch the footage, the way Tulisa's gone into detail about everything she used to do, it's just it's ridiculous because she's known this guy from nowhere.
But how do you know? But this is the thing about it for me. I don't know how she knows the guy. Because my thing is that if you're having a conversation with someone you trust and someone you know, you're allowed to go into as much detail as you want about what you've done in the past. Someone's gained your trust for them to kind of open up about their past.
But how do we know that? How do we know he's gained her trust?
That's the fact. We don't know that.
Exactly. My point is this. So my scenario is that maybe she was a bit naive to trust the guy if she didn't know him for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But she was still somehow deceived if you got someone to open up to you about your shit. And then at the end of that discussion, if I've told you about my past and you so happen to say to me, you know what, actually, I feel like some drugs. Can you get it for me? And you happen to go and aid the person, that person that lined that whole shit up is the fucking snake and is an asshole with malicious intent, and they should be the one that should be fucking being talked about as an asshole, not fucking Tulisa. And that's just my opinion on that.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah, go on, Lola. Go on.
Okay. First of all, she chats too much. Secondly, this is a girl who has actually written a biography about how, she wants to tell young girls, namely her followers, about, staying away from drugs because she got into that, when she was really, really young. So you're telling your followers this, but at the same time, you're still involved in that life. So to me,
conversation.
No, you're chatting rubbish now. You're actually chatting rubbish. Don't try and come for people and start saying, oh, I did this and I did that and I'm really, really sorry, because you're not sorry. You wrote a whole book about it, trying to warn people to stay away from it, but yet you're still involved in that life, a life of which you don't need to be involved in anymore, because you now have financial security, because you're now making Simon Cowell money. What are you doing involved in that? You don't need to be involved in that. You're not about that life anymore, so stay away from it. Why are you trying to make people believe
I'm going to tell you this.
Ghetto chick back in the ghetto days? Is that what she said?
Yeah, that's what she said, back in the ghetto days.
That's not for you. That little area there is not for you, so stay away from it. There are people out there who are actually still living that life and would love the opportunity that Tulisa has to come out of it, but my girl's still in it. What the hell for?
No, someone that's got drugs. That doesn't necessarily mean you're involved with anything.
But she did. She admitted to it, Teeth. The whole thing she said, I know that this is wrong. Wait, she said, Teeth, I know that this is wrong and I know that I could actually get done for this. So you knew exactly what you're doing. So if you're going to sell your story and sell the fact that this is wrong, you've written books about this is my thing, you're a hypocrite now. You're a hypocrite. You're doing this knowingly and you're selling money. No, I'm sorry, you're totally wrong and I don't feel sorry for you at all. You should have kept your mouth shut. Stop talking. Listen, and if you're from the streets, you will know you don't chat. Don't chat your business. Keep your mouth shut.
It's a private conversation. Like, if you're having a private conversation with someone, you're allowed to give whatever detail you want to give.
If that's the case, then, Teeth, then you need to be aware of what you're getting into. If you're going to be so free with what you're saying, then you need to be aware that there are consequences to your actions. You can't then turn around and say, I didn't know, because you did know, because you said so.
Alright, so Lala.
If I do this, there is a chance that this could come back on me and I could be arrested for it. So you're aware of what you're doing. You're not an idiot.
So Lala,
if,
for example, if Tulisa didn't have that written in her autobiography that she wrote, that she was out of that lifestyle and that she's not in it anymore, do you think it's still? Do you think it's all right then? If it was,
because she knows it's wrong.
Sorry.
If you're aware of your actions and if you're prepared to do certain things, you should be prepared to take the consequences. I'm not saying that she doesn't have to do that. If that's her choice, then that's her choice. But at the end of the day, if it all comes tumbling down on your head, then you've only got yourself to blame.
Okay, cool. Letitia, can we bring you in for a second? Because honestly, me and Nada's been taking on the question.
Sorry.
No, I'm fine.
It's good, I've seen the passion.
So what do you think on this, Letitia? What's your take?
Nah, I'm with Lala, to be fair, because if she's aware of the environment and she knows that's where she come from, whatever, she was in the ghetto days, blah blah blah. Why? It's true. Why are you still involving yourself in an area where? Why are you laughing at me?
Because the ghetto days. The streets and shit.
Hang on. If all of you, yeah, individually, if you was in Tulisa's position, yeah, and you didn't know that there was an undercover reporter you were talking to, you might have built trust with this person, because we don't know how long they knew each other, yeah? If you was in that situation and that person asked you, do you know somebody who can get me drugs, how would you respond to that person?
What, me personally?
Yeah.
Are we Tulisa or are we us? Because I don't deal with drugs.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, everyone here at least knows one person that deals
drugs.
We may know a person, but it doesn't mean that if someone asks you a question, you're going to say, oh, yeah, I know, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say that.
So out of some of your friends that you might have some, you might have gained trust with and you have a mutual respect for, one of them one day might say, you know what, I know you've got a past of dealing with drug dealers. Hey, how about I ask you for a bit of recreational use for me to just have a bit of fun?
Okay, if my friends
hook them up.
If my friends know me, Teeth, if my friends know me, I'm not Tulisa, I'm me, then they know not to ask me them things, because I don't deal in that. Okay? Because I'm not going to jail for no one, yeah? And as much as people are like, oh, poor I'm sorry, but no, I can't feel bad for her. You knew what you were getting into. I'm sorry, she's privy to this information. If she comes from road, then she has to know certain consequences of her actions. She's in a certain position now. As I said, she's making Simon Cowell money. She's done good. She's done amazingly well. But why are you messing that up to help out some man who's close to 40 to sell drugs? I don't understand it. She doesn't need that money.
I think we're forgetting and ignoring a key individual in this story, yeah? Obviously, it was Mike GLC, who was the individual who Tulisa brought in, and they actually recorded. What do we think of, Mike GLC's obviously had a bad history with being in prison before, and now he's come out. Do you think that there's a lot of people on Twitter saying that it was a setup? Who agrees that it was a setup?
It might have been. It probably was.
You think so, yeah?
I don't agree with the setup.
So wait, Lala. So you honestly think it was a setup from Tulisa to get one of her best friends, Mike GLC, put in prison?
Nah, I don't know about
No, I just feel like I think it's probably the press trying to get a story, because these are investigative journalists. This is what they do. They go out, they try to dig up dirt, because at the end of the day, the media's main responsibility, the main priority rather, is to sell newspapers. It's a business. So if they know that Tulisa is rolling with certain people who have, a bit of a shady past, they're going to be watching her.
And especially someone like Tulisa, who's probably susceptible to some bullshit like that, where you're obviously blabbing up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly, which is why Tulisa,
she obviously fucked up. She was slipping. But
this is the thing, see, you've got to stay one step ahead of the game, because the fact of the matter is, the press are going to come for Tulisa first, rather than coming for the politician or that dodgy dictator, or you've got to do that, because they're coming for you first. They don't care if, don't care about anything. They care about making money.
I completely hear that. But what I'm saying to you is that the intent for the person who set this up, for me, is just to be like, rah, you're a bit of an arsehole. If you would potentially send some people to prison for a high five in an office, I'm just a bit like, yo, I don't know where your conscience is at. I don't know.
Wait, Teef. With that point, then, don't you feel like this guy is? I feel like this guy's name's Mazama, yeah. He works for the Sun. He's been an investigative journalist for like 20 years for them now, yeah? Do you not think that he's doing a greater good for society for getting people like that locked up? Because there's a lot of people who think he's doing that, but there's a lot of people who agree with you at the same time.
This will have to go into another whole debate about whether you think or disagree with all drugs should be legal or not. Because my point is this: as an adult, if I want to consume something that only affects me, there's no victim in this. It's not a violent crime. If all I want to do is just take some cocaine...
How long are you taking that drug for you before it affects other people? How do you know it's not going to affect other people?
But that's when you can have a conversation. Same with alcohol. You just start saying we should ban all pubs because certain people decide to get fucking go to town with it and end up in the fucking streets, and certain people decide to have a glass of wine after work. It's like, obviously when it gets excessive, then those people have a problem. But if it's not there yet, you can't really call those shots. So what I'm saying to you is, as an adult, if all I want to do is take some cocaine because I'm an adult, and I can
cocaine excessive, Steve.
No, it's a drug. You could. Certain people just take it on weekends. Certain people take it once a month. Certain people take it once a year. It's up to you.
Why do you need to take it though? It's not really a necessity of life. It's not food. It's not water.
But guys, that's
why do you drink alcohol? It's none of my business.
Exactly, you don't need to do that either. You don't need to do none of these things. None of these things are going to help you in your life, in your day-to-day life. But if you want to do that, my thing is, if you're going to do that, that's down to you as an adult. If you made that informed decision, that's your choice. But if you're going to do that, then you have to recognize. Sorry, can I just finish this point? If you're going to do that, you have to recognize the fact there are certain consequences to making those decisions. You can't just take it and think that nothing is going to happen to me. Then you're an idiot.
Exactly. She slipped. Anyway, sorry.
Stop that, because that's a very separate debate that we're having, isn't it? This one here is about Tulisa and stuff. Do you feel like there's a sense of the media targeting another black guy just to get a story and portraying it out? That, do you feel like this has been targeted towards that angle for Mike GLC? Do you think he's been like alienated and absolutely victimizing this?
I'm happy for someone else to talk, but if no one else wants to talk, I'll say my piece wherever.
Sorry?
If someone else will say something, start this off, cool.
No, I don't believe that's the case at all.
Right, cool.
Pinpointing black people or whatever, I don't think that's the case in this topic, no. I think that's the thing, it's always easy to say that, but it's done.
I feel like this is more about Tulisa than it is about Mike. Tulisa's a story. He's just the kind of scapegoat of the story. He'll probably come out worse than Tulisa at the end of it all.
Nothing's going to happen to Tulisa.
Right, so what do you feel then, if he'll come out worse in this, do you feel like this is done worse on Tulisa's career than the sex video that came out of her done? Like, what one do you think will be much worse?
Do you know what? I think there's no such thing as bad press. I feel like she's probably in a meeting right now discussing how she's going to, you know, make this kind of work for her, or how she's going to come out of this. She'll probably be on Daybreak tomorrow sitting on Lorraine Kelly's sofa talking about how she's sorry and she didn't mean it and blah, blah, blah. She'll probably visit a couple of schools telling them you shouldn't do drugs, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, if Cheryl Cole can lick down somebody in the toilet and shout a racial expletive at her and then a year later become a nation sweetheart, then why can't Tulisa come out of this on the other side? To me, there's no such thing as bad press. They'll just spin it in a way for her to kind of come out on top at the end of it.
My thing is, there is such a thing as bad press if you're someone that has to keep a squeaky clean reputation. Like, there's some things that can work against you if you're trying to uphold something. But my scenario in this is that, like, look, who cares? Like, someone wanted cocaine and someone was able to line it up. As in, like, my thing is with the person that tried to, like, damn, you're happy to send some people through a scenario because someone was high. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like,
and you feel like Tulisa has no responsibility in this whatsoever? Because I'm agreeing with you. I feel like that man was low and disgusting and, you know, clearly set her up. But at the end of the day, she does have to take some responsibility for herself.
That's my point. She slipped. That's what I'm saying.
She took a chance and it didn't work in her favour. And that's it. And if she can't recognise that fact, rather than blaming the man that set her up, then more for her. Because as I said, they're watching her.
She slipped. She slipped. But, you know, the initial thing was that it's just a slime ball. It's a slime ball manoeuvre.
I feel like if she didn't put herself on a high horse and say, I'm the face for, like, broken Britain in terms of I've come out of the struggle, I've moved out of Camden, I've done this, that, and etc. I feel like then everybody wouldn't be blaming her as much. I feel like because she wrote that in her autobiography, I feel like media and the public, they're all jumping on her now saying, wait, hang on, back in the day, like you were saying, you're not this, but now you're saying, now your actions prove otherwise. So
yeah, that's the problem. When you put yourself on a pedestal like that, you're bound to fall and then fall in a really bad way, and that's what she's done.
Yeah.
It does sound contradictory, but I'm just saying, it's as simple as knowing someone who's got some drugs and you pass on a number. Like, for me, I can understand if she was involved with the drug bust, she was in a car waiting with a dude, like, to that extent, you can see how someone is like, wait, hold on a minute. You can't be telling kids one thing and you're deeply involved. But it's just as
that's
good.
nonsense.
You know what? I have a friend that can get you some shit. I'm gonna give you the number. Like, it's just if that's your only involvement in that scenario.
Yeah, but T, that involvement there, it's important. It's an important one because she knew that it was illegal to do. So if you're doing certain illegalities here and you're in a certain position, then you have to know that this is going to fall on you. When it does fall on you, it's going to be in a bad way. Come on. She's not a stupid girl. This is someone who's been in this industry since she was 11, okay? She knows certain things that other people wouldn't be privy to. She knows this. So when you have that information, what is everybody else supposed to say? Come on now.
All right.
I agree with Lala saying in point back when she says bad press is good press, yeah, but not when it's a terrible crime like this. I don't think this is going to be good press for her. Yeah, her name's out there and she's doing, you know, she's going to get the exposure that she needs. But I feel like coming back after this incident is going to be much harder than coming back after her giving dead brain to a guy backstage in a concert. Apparently that was what Tulisa used as well. That was actually on set. But no, so what do we think of Tulisa's career? Do you think it's going to flourish or do you think it's going to drop? I think that's what we should do.
Right. I don't think
quick sentence from Teeth, quick sentence from Lala saying, I
think she'll be fine. As I said, I feel like we live in a different time now where you can do literally anything. You can stab a man in his neck and come back from that and it'd be okay. Like, because people are really desensitized to certain things. So this is nothing. Like, people sell drugs all the time. It's no bad thing. You know, she'll get a backlash probably from the, you know, the Daily Mail kind of, you know, commentators. And that'll be about it. Give her about 3 to 6 months. She'll have another record, another album to sell. And, you know, the press, the same press that were ready to shoot her down will be the same press that will be like, can you tell me about your single? Can you tell me about your album? Can you tell me about your new projects? She'll be all right.
Yeah, you know what? It's one of the things where it's hard to call because it depends how it's worked. Depends what fucking PR people do. Depends how they try and spin it. But you got to understand is in like, there's the perception of drugs right now. It's like nobody wants to be associated with that shit. So if you're one of those people that want to go on X Factor and you want to be in the public eye as some squeaky clean motherfucker who does no wrong in their life, this is not a good look for you. Giving a bit of dead brain when you was young and you was naive is a bit different. But now you're telling motherfuckers they shouldn't be doing shit. So if you're trying to steer in one direction and you're getting involved with some other shit, I don't know if this does any good for you, based on the public perception in general. In my opinion, it's a minor. Who gives a fucking shit? Someone wanted some cocaine. Get the fuck out of here. Blah. So those motherfuckers out there that like watching TV every Saturday night and they go have to go do their lives, this is not a good look for Tulisa in their eyes. That's what I'm going to say about that.
That was it. That was what we think of Tulisa. Subscribe right now. Leave your comments below and tell us what you think. Jump off. Peace.
Did I shout too much? I'm always yelling.